Imo do sima atisete odisete kagba de falare atisete kagbe de falare atisete adájọ́ ń parọ́ torí owó atisete òṣèlú ń parọ́ nítorí ipò atisete èdò gbówó mìíràn atisete.
It was kind of a speech he gave a while back when he wasn't probably thinking he was going to be an obedient movement leader, like 6 years later. I just thought I should share that with you. But here is our own vintage Shure, who has a lot as well to add to the state of, it has a lot to say to the state, in the state of Nigeria, especially Tinubu. I'll add that to it. Don't go anywhere, because we're going to go to Edo soon. Have you heard about the Tom and Jerry of Benin, or Tom and Jerry of Edo, Obaseki and Shuaibu? I've got something for you for them. I've got something from them for you. So don't go anywhere. Sure.
And then you put in charge of that country people who have no understanding of how to run a country. You have a U.S. that has maybe only 20 ministers. We have 42 here in Nigeria. The U.S. is a country of 350 million people, and an economy that is in trillions. They have maybe 100 and something senators. Here, with an economy of a state, equivalent of a state in the U.S., we have 109 senators and how many House of Assembly, National Assembly members. All these guys are just wasting resources that should belong to the people. And then we have population. Population has become a blessing to countries. China is blessed with population. They are using it positively. India is blessed with population. But Nigeria has 200 million people. It is not the population that is the problem. It's the population of the thieves that is Nigeria's problem. They are not many, but they are the ones who have access to resources that should belong to everybody. How did we get to this conversation that I'm breaking down to you? Is the question you asked me about leadership. Those who ran Nigeria in the 60s, after independence, they were in their 20s. But those who are running Nigeria now, you don't even know their age, which is a problem. So you have a problem of integrity. You have a problem of people with no pedigree, people who are fraudulent in nature, running the country. You're expecting the country, as Chris said, to make progress when the meaning of democracy has been turned upside down. The reason why the people of Niger, Burkina Faso, Mali are making fun of us is because they know that the democracy we claim we are practicing here is not democracy. So what is the difference between a coup plotter in army uniform and a coup plotter in civilian garb? They are the same. The moment you cannot have an organized, free and fair election with integrity, you have no moral right to discuss democracy anywhere in the world, even if it is in Palau, one of the smallest countries in the world. They will make mockery of. That's why we're a joke on the continent on the West African coast. Say Nigeria president said we should go and invade Nigeria. But had Nigeria had credibility in leadership and integrity, you don't need to go to. You'll be a moral voice. You say to them, look, we are neighbors. I'm sorry, you cannot overthrow your government. Go and wait for another election. Look at them. They are saying they want 3 years. And I'm sure in 3 years' time, they would change either their uniform to Agbada. And what I find very sad about it is that in the midst of the conversation, we are still being controlled like marionettes by the West and the East Bloc. People now prefer Russia to America. That is how we got into the situation we're in the 60s. That whole East and West Bloc, dichotomy, and the use of the African continent as experimental space for whatever their own ideological things are. I don't want to be controlled by the US, but I also don't want a Putin to be my role model. Yeah.
Sure, this next question is for you. In analyzing leaders, one must look at their past achievements to predict their future capabilities. especially when they are moving upwards with greater territorial power and influence. Tell me today if there's someone in Nigeria that you believed or still believe had that past achievement to be able to deliver results in the future on a presidential level.
Oh, I have not seen any of the politicians in Nigeria who shown that they are capable of
Since independence?
Since independence. I'm talking about, maybe I would show some kind of bias for Obafemi Awolowo, because without him, I probably wouldn't have gone to school in the southwestern part of Nigeria. He built a secondary school that I attended when only 6 kids used to go to secondary school in my village in Ondo State. In one day, after the school was announced, over 150 kids came out of the bush. Some of them couldn't fit into a shoe. Because why? That opportunity emerged. So I would say Obafemi Awolowo in the educational sector impressed me. And I would say biased. But every other leader that they taught me in primary school were great leaders. When I got to the university, we had to fight them on the streets. So even our history has a problem with telling the truth about these leaders. But I also must say that leadership is not only about political leadership alone. We had great leaders who trained us to be who we are today. People like Gani Fawemi, the Chima Obanis of this world, Bamidele Aturu. Femi Falana has been my lawyer since 1992, pro bono. They are leaders in their own right too. And we must continue to celebrate. And a number of young people now that I'm working with, we must continue to celebrate. If I stay here and start mentioning names, we'll be here forever, because we must celebrate leaders in big places and small places so that we can find so that they can bubble to the surface. All the young people who risked their life during NSAS, all the young people who risked their life to drive the military out of power, likes of Mayegun Olusegun that Chris Nwokobia mentioned, Chris himself, Abdul, all those NANS leaders of those time, had we appreciated them and treated them the way they ought to be treated, they would probably be the leaders of this country today, and Nigeria will be better for it. But look at where we are. We keep recycling the same people who have failed Nigeria and Nigerians. And sometimes, as Chris was trying to say, we failed so badly that even when the opportunities come to be leaders, we don't have the confidence in ourselves to present ourselves as leaders. I would have preferred a Chris as a presidential candidate in 2023 than for him to be a spokesperson for the candidate he chose. And that's controversial because he has pedigree. I know him. But I don't know his candidate. I didn't know him during the pro-democracy era. In fact, he said publicly that he worked with the military, helping them to clear the port. But these are things we must confront. Like, we find ourselves so hemmed into different corners of this world, and Nigeria happened to us, that we don't even have the ability to present ourselves as leaders. When people like me present myself, you don't have experience. I'm asking, what experience do you need? The only experience I don't have is the experience of stealing. Oh, what have you done before? You have never governed the state. The people who govern the state, can you go to their state and spend a vacation there? Are there roads there? Are there schools there that is one of Africa's top 1,000 universities? Do you have hospitals there that they themselves can go to if they have a headache? The people who governed states before. So we always keep making that mistake. I think it has to do with judgment, even on our part, and that's why I love what Chris said, that those of us who went through the raw deal must now talk positively about a new deal. And that new deal cannot be by subjugating ourselves or inserting ourselves in opportunities because those opportunities sounds popular. Because at the end of the day, it is we who are somehow activists or outrightly against the status quo who get first punished. I've said it to.
How many times would they tell you before you know that Nigeria is not for you? Now they never leave you. They have left you behind. Photo, not be juju be that. Sorry, oh. May God not allow them, make them kill you. 70 years old man.
Vintage Shogore, it will always say it exactly the way it is. But our own man who still kind of believed that Nigeria can be saved, you know what I mean? Unfortunately, he's not gaining the right traction that he should. But when it comes to speaking the truth, hate him or like him, right? Everything that came out of his mouth just there are facts, undisputable facts. But we have heard a lot. You will say, I was going to take you to Benin, but I thought maybe we should quickly stop by in Chicago State University. You see this issue of Kolu, whether Kolu went to Chicago University or not, or whether Kolu is using Ori Olori or not. It is something that Nigerians have now escalated to the point that the Chicago State University and their staff have been receiving thousands of emails, calls, and all of that from interested Nigerians who want them. Why are you going to court to go and ask court to release the document? Why can't you just release it? Would you allow somebody who is a Pablo Escobar, to be your president? You know, Nigerians now, typical. Fire them here and there. So the guys have to, one, they deleted the 1979 yearbook from their website. Then they went onto their social media handle, and they locked their comment section, locked all their tweets. You can't retweet, you can't do anything there. Just in 2 days, though, 48 hours. Meanwhile, Kolu in America bankers were in Chicago in Chicago's courts is asking the courts not to allow Chicago State University to release its details, because Nigerian bloggers are going to be mocking him. Why would Nigerian bloggers mock you? I mean, you should even release it yourself. I mean, if it was me, I would release everything myself. Oh yeah, F9 parallel. Oh yeah, you know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, waiting you want. But somehow, Tinubu believes that there is something more damaging. I believe too. So he's asking them not to release it because of Nigerian bloggers. But people started, 1979 yearbook for Chicago State University has become the most searched for documents or web link right now by Nigerians. I'm not joking. And I want to say a big thank you to Ferreira Manuel. I got your email. It'd be like, say, you found one. So while we were here, I received an email from this viewer, Ferreira, who said, Mayegun, here is the copy of 1979 yearbook that everybody has been looking for, and they said they couldn't access here and there. He's managed to. If you haven't already, or if you can't see it anymore, somebody just send that to me, and I'm going to share that with you. But there's this problem too, like, as usual. Everybody, the students who are supposed to be like mates, course mates, classmates, and the rest of them in 1979 graduating sets, in their yearbook, they put up all of different activities, like group activities, sporting activities, and so many other activities that they, kind of participated in their yearbook. Somebody, and another thing, every person in that yearbook, every person had their name spelled correctly. Now only that of Tinubu they no spell correctly. We don't know why. Okay. So it said they spelled his name as Bola A. Tobf. What the hell was Bola A. Tobf? Tobf. I don't even know how to pronounce that. So a lot of people are kind of like, Omo, is that even real? So I haven't seen this yearbook like this. I've only been seeing a screenshotted part for some time, including some reports that have covered this same topic in the past. I've only been seeing screenshots, but for the first time, Ferreira, my viewer, has given us the full year book of 1979, the year that Tinubu supposedly graduated from the Chicago State University, Abi. And by now, you would expect some of the colleagues of Tinubu to also come out and say, we went to school together now. Oh, I know him. I mean, I remember him. Kind of, sure, you know. And being a political activist that he described himself as, you would expect some of his activities to be captured as well. But anyway, I haven't seen this book, so we're going to see it together. Now, 1 second though. So this is, okay, that's not it. I've got to go back. So they call it reflections for somebody who kept their own and uploaded it on online. Okay, so archive.org. Now, if I start playing this screen, right, you begin to see the lives of so many of these students, Africans and, you know, Americans and the rest of them. What was it like in Chicago in the 70s, mid 70s to late 70s? Chicago State University. That's what it was before. Yeah. And then you get to see those who are like their presidents, club president, union president, and all of those, right? So this is the book. So if you see Tinubu, please point him out. Oh, now all of us, they see this book now for the first time, okay? Not be all of us anyway, okay, some of us. So I may miss something, okay? So you can point them out. I'll be reading the comments for the next 5 minutes when I'll share these book pages with you. So campus events and activities, Jill Scott Aaron, telling it like it is, United Nations Day, somebody who put this together is supposed to be somebody who went to school with Tinubu, Chicago State University Women's Club, campus organization, Kappa Alpha, PSI fraternity, in all those, right? So if you see Tinubu, please point him out. Oh, have you seen him? Of course, it's old. Everyone you are seeing in this picture, they are like old men right now, old men, old women, for those who are still alive. So, 1979. Marion Wilson Comer, Vice President of Academic Affairs at the time. These are supposed to be the members of staff. So, to the classroom. This was how their classroom were like classroom short back then. Science classrooms, biology, fun courses, on and on. Like they were also like kind of goofy too, like having their own time. Hang on, let me see if I can. Okay, no, I can't. So in sports, swimming, wrestling, volley, ball team. And then after this, so you are going to see all the students. Please, don't do that. I know a lot of you are going to be kind of catching fun with that. Okay, let's be serious. I want you to pay attention on the screen. Okay, pay attention to the screen. Your screen. If you're watching it on a big screen, TV, I bet it's going to be bolder than this, right? Very big. Tell me, you see all these names, Remember this Mary Adadevo? No, not the one that died in Nigeria, by the way. But you know what I mean. So Olabisi Ayorinde, this is a Yoruba woman. This is a Yoruba woman who went to the same school. I don't know if she's still alive to tell us if she met with Charlene Anthony. Let me see other names that are more or less like Yoruba names or Nigerian names. People who could have come across Tinubu at the time. So these are supposed to be students. So these are the students. These were the students then in that school. Okay, all of them. Now this is where you're going to see Tinubu or Tob, Bola A. Tob. So how did that? What was that? So go on and tell me other names you kind of have seen as well. These were the students in that school, 1979, graduating sets. So have you seen Tinubu? Or have you seen any Bola A Tinubu? I'm still waiting for that top. Well, you're going to see that top somehow. This is like the original student archive that graduated from that set, 1979 set. So have you seen Tinubu? Yeah, look at him. That's Bola A Top. Have you seen that? Just from the bottom, second, okay, should I say, yeah, second from the bottom, and then third from the right, fourth from the left, if you're counting from the left. Have you seen him? That's Bola Top. So now they are like, okay, this record has been there already. Mind you, it's not like a new discovery. Sure you get. The Chicago State University said Bola A. Tinubu graduated in their school. And Atiku is now asking for, somebody said, maybe in the last minute, you know, when they use Olori and all of that, they can't supply, what do you call it? They can't supply the passport during the graduation time. I mean, like, how did he do that? I don't know. So that's the future president of Nigeria from Chicago State University and other students too. Sure you get, there is no other activity. And you would expect that, for example, all these people, they should still be alive. Not be all of them go don't die now. See all these students. Hearing about Tinubu and the rest of them, they should be able to be like, we know him, he was a boy or he was a girl before then. So, Ferreira, thank you very much for that, okay? For sharing that with us, or in fact, bringing that up. So the same colleague will be going to the US. It will be going to the US in September. And they just said that it wanted to cut costs. So anyone who has nothing to do in America should not follow them to America because they want to cut costs. Bobo. But anyway, I told you about the Tom and Jerry of Benin, or the Tom and Jerry of Edo. That's Obaseki and Shaibu Abina Shaibu, his own deputy. Now, listen, I sometimes kind of wonder, right? If I am your deputy governor, okay, let's say I am governor, and then I have a deputy. So, what is the idea of choosing somebody as your deputy governor if you have no intention of them continuing on the same thing that is like the same idea? I mean, if I be governor and you are my deputy, that means we are a team. So if I bring out policy, if I do anything about whatever, that means we are doing them together. Abi? So if you do them for 8 years together, isn't it the right thing to kind of support your vice to, I mean, so Baseki was like, no. I know this guy. This Shuaibu is impatient. He's impatient. Even though we team together to chase away Oshiomole. Now I be like, say Oshiomole, who has become a senator now, is having the last laugh. Because the last 3-4 months, some said it's been longer than that. The last 3-4 months, the fight between Obaseki and Shuaibu, and then living in denial of it, can't be like that of Tom and Jerry. You know that Tom and Jerry, when which one be Tom again? Tom the cat, Jerry the mouse, Abi. So you see, Jerry will come. It will probably burn the tail of Tom. And the moment Tom decided to react, and everybody said, the owners, probably the owners come out, or let me say the owner come back. And then Tom would have to pretend like everything is fine. Like that. You see, Tom and Jerry kind of thing. You see them and they'll be like, no, we are not fighting. Oh, no, he's impatient. Oh, he was plotting against me. Obaseki has been like that, like, Shaibu and him. They cannot. Shaibu raised the alarm. He even went to court to stop Obaseki from removing him as deputy governor. How did these two jolly good fellows become enemies again because of power or what? You were beating your godfather the other day in the public market. 5 days market. Bag bows. Everybody joined you to beat up your godfather. Like, what changed? What happened? Anyway, until recently, that it finally became public that Obaseki done kind of zero his own deputy. They were at possibly a state sort of occasion, right? An official function. And Amon bounced the deputy governor, Nisha. DSS bounced the deputy governor. Don't come closer, okay? Wait. I am Shaibu, the deputy governor. I want to speak. I want to greet His Excellency. Obaseki was like, no let him near me. No let him near me. Stop him. Don't let him get closer to me. I beg. Tell him say I no day here. Oga no day. Sorry. Deputy governor. Mr. Governor is not around. But he's the one, he's sitting behind you now. Sorry, he's not around. Oga say make I tell you, say no day around. So that's exactly what the scenario became between these two former jolly good fellows. For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow. And so say all of them when they screamed. And so say all of them. Edo is not Lagos. Today, they are now kind of walking about with one hand in their pockets. Waiting inside your pocket. Waiting inside your own pocket too. Obaseki, come on hand for pocket. Yusuf, come on. Shaibu, come on hand for pockets. Why you put hand for pockets? Everybody is now walking about with dagger. They didn't probably start this way. Whatever went wrong between them, I wasn't. Well, maybe I wasn't paying attention anyway, but I wasn't expecting that. Then they bounced him again. So listen, you can't come inside here. Apart from we bounce you this morning, you don't go change. Come back again. Wait till they worry you, Shaibu.
Let's go inside. No, don't go inside. Just hold on. No. You must go with you. Let's go with you. Let's go inside. Yeah, please. Let's play this. Don't go in, please. Don't go in. You're doing what is happening. No, it's not fair. It's not fair. Tell them to feel what's happening. So just hold on. Let me get instruction. Just hold on. Let me get instruction. Do that. Record him as his no, Your Excellency. Your Excellency is not right. Continue recording. Don't do that.
Our common destiny. 60 years after, we are gathered to know the way forward.
Let's go.
Retrospectively, what we are.
Let's go. Where's the boss?
See? I told you. Let's say when Obaseki was telling that no letter near me, don't let her near me. Tell us I know they yell. You know, when somebody do like this, they say, but he's there now, he's sitting behind you. And then you look back and say, Oga. I know the house. I know they here. I don't know what's in there under the agbada. I don't know. Oh, you tell us I know they here. That was Obaseki. So Shaibu go change, come back, come say, okay, I know where agbada, see me. Please, make sure you are recording this, okay? Record it. See me. Look at this. I'm the deputy governor. Look at what look at the way you are treating me. Record it, so that we can send it to Mayegun. And Mayegun can help us show that all, I mean, what do you call it? Shaibu's right matter. You know what they say? Say, you know, like you'll be like, we no go gree, we no go gree. Shaibu's right matter. Like they say Black Lives Matter. All life matter. No. Shaibu life matter. At this point, we are going to protest, say, how could you treat him like that? But it was just kind of the political power play, which somehow, is the lot of these guys, is their way. And guess who suffers? The people. In all of this, the people are the losers. It is the people who end up having to bear the brunt of all this madness. Somebody said that she said something about BRICS. Do you know that, just like it was like an apple stanza, I mentioned it the other time, right? But I kind of feel like I should tell you what I know about it, okay? I would say, maybe I wouldn't be able to say I know much, because I don't. But the simplest info you can get about this BRICS and all that is that, at first, the name BRICS, B-R-I-C-S, is just the combination of the first letter of the following country, like Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. So they were the first kind of the pioneers, okay, who came with the idea of, let us have an alternative to dollars, especially when we all know that this world trade, right, is the reason why, world trading in dollars is the reason why dollar is actually so strong enough against, you know, any other economy. And you just have more or less like a, you know, the rest of the world building their economy on a, call it a dollar economy. But looking inward, they were like looking inward. Somebody said this seems to be like something that Gaddafi planned to do with Africa. Then no, it's different. This one is different. What Gaddafi was proposing for Africa then was to give to have one United States of Africa, where they would develop their own kind of government, currency, as well as all other policies that, you know, including immigration, defense, and all that, as Africans, okay? And this one currency of Africa should be powered by gold. Since Africa has abundance of gold, that could indeed be, you know, warehoused kind of, you know, as the backing to any currency that the African chooses, or even kind of trading gold. If you want to deal, trade with us, you bring in your gold, or if you want to, you know, kind of like that, is sort of a United States of Africa. No borders, you know, everybody move everywhere, same way, good life and all that. But this one is different, because the difference is that you now have people outside the continent, countries outside the continent, who have looked into their own economies, and they feel like they could actually go it alone without having to remain dependent on a dollar. So other countries are also joining them, by the way, and making requests to join them, because putting them together, according to the report, you have China, you have Brazil, you have Russia, okay? Then you have South Africa, which happen to be the only sort of, you know, kind of a representative from Africa so far. But others have now joined, where they are now about over, I think they are now hovering around the 40, 45 in BRICS. So the intention is this: China, Brazil, and Russia, China and Russia, they are considered as, you know, sort of a top advanced economies, okay, who have a lot that they can share in what is like the sharing of the prosperity of these economies. So when they trade, okay, you know, what countries actually do together is trade. It's only that Nigeria have nothing to bring to the table. other than crude oil. And the crude oil itself is not actually the key thing that they are looking for anymore. And the crude oil that Nigeria has already lost control over anyway. So that is why Nigeria does not belong to that kind of economy where you bring something to the table. So part of what they are looking at is if they want to take any resources from Africa, for example, okay? So the terms and conditions of this deal should involve Africans in it. For example, why not develop industries to process African resources in Africa, create jobs for them, okay? And in return, whatever you also kind of need from them for your own people in your country, you give them the fair share, like fair price for their resources. So this time around, it's like building the economies of member states, trading in their own currency. For instance, let's say the people of South Africa who actually trade in rands, okay? So that means Chinese who trade in, is it yuan? Yuan. Then the Brazilians who trade in their own currency and all that. So whenever they want to buy something from South Africa, right? So they will make the purchase in rand that goes straight to South Africa. When South Africa want to get anything from Brazil, they make the payment also in their currency. But you know what they are now trying to do is, instead of, like you have the dollars, you have the euro for the Europeans, Abi. You have the dollars for the Americans and then for almost half of the world, Abi. So if they have the economy that is over 4-5 trillion dollars worth, you know what I mean? Like as joints, in fact, what am I even saying? We're talking about hundreds of trillions of dollars economy worth with China. So they can develop their own currency too. I'm just saying this. So let's say they say orange tie. They can develop the same way you have euro, the same way you have a dollar. You can now have a currency called BRICS. That currency called BRICS is going to be like when these countries trade among themselves, they don't have to worry about devaluation of their currencies to match up, the trade wherever with other countries. They don't have to, okay? The same value for every resources, the same value or development for every member state, a kind of a proposal that is so fair, and it is more fair to Africans, to be honest, if it works out, okay? But you must have something you are bringing to the table, all right? Economic stability, political stability, security, as well as, sort of a stable economy is the same economic stability, Abi, yeah? Nigeria has none of this. It's pretty much empty. So to say, no thanks to Bokuwari of APC, Egbekegbe. So what BRICS is all about would have been a great thing, alternative to dollars. So, and the more trade they trade among themselves, the stronger the currency will become. So, if you are a member of BRIC nations, right, your citizens and the rest of them, when they are traveling through any of these part of, all these member states, right, they are sort of protected from the valuation of exchanging their currency for dollar. So when the demand for dollar kind of reduces, it helps all these local businesses as well to kind of have alternative to trading in dollar. Does that make any sense yet? American dollar is expected to be built on the Saudi petrol. It's called petrodollar. And the way it is going right now, Russia, Saudi Arabia, and so many of these other oil-producing countries, they are now all of them are now rushing down to the BRICS. And even France that is facing, an annihilation from Africa, France is asking that they should be invited to BRICS as well, because it's all about who has the best offer on the table, especially for Africa. And with all this flying American sanction, European sanction on different countries and all of that, IMF, devaluation of different countries' currencies, BRIC comes to mind or comes to a place that could be an alternative if it works. Okay, it won't be the first time that the world economies are coming together. Some countries will come together in an effort to set something up that is an alternative to dollar. It won't be the first time. And I can bet you it won't be the last time too. But what is in it for Nigeria in all of this? Nigeria is in bed with America. Nigeria is in bed with Europe, the West. So if there's going to be any interest at all that Nigeria will want to protect, it's going to be that of the West. So trying to kind of fraternize with the BRICS nations and the rest of them, making it look like they are interested, is pretty much just like window shopping. Because at the end of the day, America is going to do their best and the West are going to do their best to blackmail those they can blackmail to stop them from joining the BRICS. But like I said, it has always been like that. Okay? It would have been a great opportunity for Nigeria, a big country in Africa, to be part of that, genuinely, if they have something to offer. But Nigeria is so corrupt. The rest of the world knows. So those who want to chance Nigerians, or those who are going to be allowed to cheat Nigerians, are those who are mostly interested in doing business with Nigeria, unfortunately. And with Pablo Escobar, you can tell you are going to always be dealt the long part of the spoon, unfortunately. But that's all I know about BRICS. Okay, so however it all goes, however it all plays out, if you know more, share with us. Okay, so I'm going to go and make myself another fresh tea. Now I am going to take calls tonight, so that even if it's just going to be for an hour, I'll do that. Okay, before I go to bed. Now, if you have been with me all night to this point, please, you can still like the broadcast. And if you joined us midway, okay, be part of that phone call part, okay? And you can watch this from the start again. And if you can't, just make sure you like the broadcast before you leave. I will be back. Don't go anywhere. Thank you. I have my first caller tonight. I mean, hello there. I hope
Yes,
I actually got
sir.
that anyway.
Mr. Mayigun.
Yes, sir. Can you hear
Hello?
me, sir?
I can hear you perfectly. Perfectly.
Beautiful. I can hear you
Loud
loud and
and clear.
clear too. Good afternoon or good evening to you, sir.
Everything good, good.
Good.
Yes, everything good, good.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So, wonderful show, wonderful show, wonderful show.
Thanks, man.
Highly informative. So, it here was one, Mayigun, man. The last thing you said about the BRICS, I just asked myself a question. I said, so how can Nigeria be saved? So, I mean, how can we even deliver ourselves from the West? How can we deliver ourselves, liberate ourselves from the West?
Because you have the leaders
Because it is true, like you
who
said,
are their stooges anyway. So yeah,
yeah, who are puppets, right? And that is the
puppets.
problem. Yeah, puppet. That is the problem because, like in Niger now, in their own case, if the citizen can be happy that military took over and they are jubilating, I mean, can you imagine that? And I mean, with the West bringing democracy, clamoring for democracy, the crusader of democracy, I know right there that they have their own hidden agenda. They know that democracy is not like this man used to say, this president of Rwanda, Kigali. I mean, what's his name again? Kagame, something like that, yeah.
Kagame.
The man used to say yeah, I think if I remember vividly, it's something sometimes ago that eh, democracy will not work for everybody. We are Africans. Maybe in our own continent here, there is certain system of government that work for us. But so far so good since all these democracy things that they've been talking about in Africa since 1998. I, I didn't see anything good that has not that any Nigerian can see they've enjoyed. Probably other than MTN
Trauma
coming to
after
Nigeria
trauma.
and MTN and Globe, whatever came to Nigeria. Other than that, I didn't see anything. Roads are nothing to be written home about. Welfare, zero. Hospital, zero. Nothing. Security, zero. Nothing. Nothing. Now, regarding the tribunal, like I said sometimes ago, the only thing that I'm holding back, that is making me to kind of, still have certain thoughts about, or I'm not going to say hope, but trying to see how the trauma would play out, the kind of person who be is. Okay, because we all know that Obi won that election. I didn't mean the democracy, they play it the way they're supposed to play democracy. Obi won that election. Now, according to Obi history, when it's come to lawsuit and everything, tribunal and everything like that, he has never lost before.
So his antecedents
Now,
also
and
kind
with
of
this,
always remind you that you shouldn't just write him off.
so that is the only what is that English again? Or I get to say inch or something that I'm still having that I want to see what's going to happen. So let's say the tribunal said, okay, there's nothing they can do. Tinubu has come to stay. Now they drag everything to Supreme Court. And then the Supreme Court said, no way, no way. So I want to see what's going to happen.
But people are saying that, they don't care what they want to say, right? If they have to say that, but they must show proof of how they arrive at that judgment. Now that one feel cause wahala. We are all waiting.
Honestly speaking, that is true. Yeah.
Well,
yeah, that's another thing.
Thank you so much, right? Let me take another one, right? And then
yes,
we'll
sir.
keep waiting. We just have 18 days. They have 18 days, Sha, to deliver the judgment. Whether they like it or not, they have to deliver it in 18 days' time. That is a fact.
So I am waiting.
I'm
not trying to say this to mock Obi. not to mock Obi or anything, but the kind of person Obi is, according to his history, or according to history in general, he doesn't give up.
Okay. The history, to be made, and we can only make that right here. Events that will later turn to a history. So we are just 18 days away. I'll take another call, right? Thanks a lot. So, which is true, okay? It simply means that wherever anybody's position or wherever, even if these guys are hiding and they are kind of worried or whatever, they are waiting for assurance from their own sponsor and all that. I'm talking about the judges. So, in the next 18 days, they have to declare, they have to kind of give a judgment on that tribunal. And then we'll all see where this leads to. Hello.
Hello, sir. Mr. Mayegu.
Yes, sir.
How are you today?
I am very well, sir. How are you, sir?
Happy Monday. Happy Monday.
Same
Happy Monday. God bless
you.
God bless you.
And
Yeah.
you too.
Let me quickly answer that man's question concerning you said you are waiting for judiciary. Okay. Now, once again, Mr. Mayegu, the 98% of the generality of the Nigerian populace has indeed been put under a spell. and has been taken as big fools, big fools, daft, once again. Because do you know what? Because of the fact that during the 25th of February presidential election, the moment the then president of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, showed to the whole world whom he voted for, which of course is a violation to the INEC rules and regulation. That is the exact code that Buhari gave to whom it may concern. That is, which includes the judiciary. I'm telling you. So the judiciary, they are just playing us because we are big fools, big fools, daft. I'm telling you, because the Buhari has already given them the code by showing to the whole world whom he voted for, which he is supposed not to have done that time. But the
electoral act as well. You are right. But he did
God bless you, Mr. Mayegu. God bless. Yes, correct. To deceive the big fools once again. The 90% of Nigeria, they are big fools to them. I'm telling you, they are daft. I'm telling you. So now that me and you now
they're just scared. Are they daft, or they're just kind of like, sort of scared? If all of us want to be fair. Also, don't forget, there were actually those who stood up against them. But they managed to overwhelm them. So could we just say they are fools, all of them, or they got overwhelmed?
No.
Like, could we?
I'm saying that, Mr. Mayegu, this minute few, this mafia, they are very small, but they call themselves mafia. They call themselves mafia inner circle untouchable group. That's their name. They call themselves mafia. Yes. Correct. I'm saying it's facts. I have the facts. I'm telling you. Yeah, so they call themselves a mafia inner circle untouchable group. I'm telling you. So that particular day in question, our then President Buhari is supposed not to do that, to have shown to the public whom he voted for, but he did it on purpose.
So it's
on purpose.
Like you said.
Yeah, it's a code. Yes, correct. Which I have the yes.
So it's more or less like it's already signed, sealed, and delivered anyway. So what is the judiciary going to do now, in your own view?
No. That one will come later. I'm just going to the whole world to know. The judiciary now, they've already get the code, so they are playing us. They are just waiting for what they're going to say to the many of the populace. To say, because
so they already getting the code. They are like gauging our pulses to see which day will be right for us to drop the bombshell.
God bless you. You are very super intelligent. God bless you. Exactly. Could you know what?
Like
When
because Baba,
exactly because
we'll tell ourselves, right? No, it doesn't make any sense, right? You used about 100 days to collect evidence. Everything is right there in black and white, and you're waiting for 80 days.
God bless you. God bless you. When the past president of MBA, Dr. Obakoba, said that that is supposed,
okay, yeah.
Yes, God bless you. He said that that is supposed not to take 14 days maximum. 14 days maximum. 14 days. Why is it days? That man said it. That man said it. That thing is supposed not to take 180 days. It's supposed to take maximum 14 days. 14 days. 14 days. Why taking everything? I'm telling you.
Days.
Yes. So Buhari has given them the code that day by showing to the world. So they are following the code. They are following the code. But the code has already been unveiled. Don't worry. This time around, enough is enough.
Too, Abi. All of us are watching, Baba.
Enough is enough.
Thanks a lot.
And
yes, sir.
And one thing I will say, one more second.
Yes,
sorry. This petition, what's called the tribunal. Any day they now give out the outcome, whatever the outcome, they definitely best of the same feather, flock together. What the outcome? The Supreme Court too.
Any surprise from them at all?
God bless you. So that's what I'm saying today. Thank you. God bless you.
Thanks a lot. Okay, take it easy. Somebody is kind of convinced that this whole thing is already scripted. Everybody is just playing their own part in it until the final conclusion. But not everybody kind of believe that too. Do you believe that it's already scripted? Because I believe it's already scripted too. I know that not all of us believe that. So I'm not going to speak for you. I have a caller here. Hello.
Hello, my good general. Are you talking with me?
I can hear you loud and clear, but you need to mute that broadcast behind you there.
Okay. I'll do that. I was even watching at the Disney. It's not corresponding with the call.
Yeah, it won't because the broadcast is going to be about 5 seconds delayed to what you all watch on your screen. You know what I mean? Like 5 seconds, just so little. So that's why you shouldn't combine both.
It's all right. It's all right. Michael General, I'm doing very, very well. Brilliant. And yourself?
Very well too. Thanks for asking.
Yeah. Greetings from Hamburg, Germany.
Guten Abend to you.
Guten
Abend to you. Yes.
Yeah. Mayegu, I want to shock you. We are all inside the same shit. But there are people who will liberate others. Are you, like the last caller said, we are all under a spell. No, not us. Nigerians, because I don't believe in Nigeria, as many of us. Nigerians are under a spell. Big time spell. Watch out. I may shock you now.
Please.
What we don't just know. Peter Obi will bow out and tell his obedience to make peace. It's come to pass. Peter Obi will drop this mandate and said, let us make peace. If he has collected something from backyard, it's up to him. I can't tell. But this will shock his supporters. We have been saying it. We have been telling them boycott election. It is not working. They bring obedience for them. For them to confuse people, so that they confuse people, and they can't set it far away. Only autopilot is holding the mantle up to today. Even though some people are telling us from the IPOB, there's a way to do it, political this, political that. Only autopilot is holding the ground. Betrayers everywhere. Because they have wired. They have wired Nigerians head with poverty. They have wired us with hunger. Them, not us. Only what will save people, what will save every people is fight for your tent, O Israel. Your tent, O Israel. if not autopilot, if not autopilot, we are all dead by that. You can never be hearing of IPOB again, if not for autopilot. Because God took our leader out, and there's another one somewhere hiding. They are all mad about that now. But Nigerians is just a pity. We, like the last caller said, they are all under a spell. This one will shock Nigerians. This one will shock Nigerians and obedience. Those who want to have an appointment from Peter Obi, they'll be shocked. Obi will tell them very soon.
He's going to eventually tell them to, I'm dropping it. That's loud.
I'm dropping it. I don't want to holler.
Yeah, we're going to keep it here. A lot of us hear this tonight, and so that when it happens, we won't be like, oh my God, you know?
Yes.
I'm going to say
it's an expo.
You know what I'm going to say, right?
Yeah.
You know you have just poked the bear now.
Yeah.
Some other people are going to call in, and they're going to respond to what you just said. So I hope.
All right. Obedience. You all should listen. Obedience. You all should listen. We say it long time ago. Boycott election. Nigeria is
Nigeria, unfortunately. Thanks a lot. Let me take another call. Okay.
Okay, my good night. Good night. Good night.
Thanks a lot. So that is an autopilot there from the IPOB, who came all out gun blazing, especially towards you, the obedient. Anyway, the line is still very much opened. Okay, and I hope I know that's my thoughts. Okay, I remember I used to say, can we all please just take it cool, whether as long as you are not with this one Nigeria nonsense kind of thing, right? That whatever our differences are here, we should respect our own diverse differences. But I didn't caution him. I know, but I can caution you and tell you that listen, don't turn it into the rough fight episode of Unagood. Can't punch yourself shadow boxing on here. Calm down. Okay? At least I have another caller here. Hello there.